Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and also an executive committee member of IET India. I feel very privileged to interview such an eminent personality to the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So, shall we start? The participant have came.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity from IFET. So, is it the video on, or we can go for like this? What kind of thing you can follow, ma'am?
Presentation, sir. You can present.
Okay. I will share my screen. Just a moment. Is it visible? I hope.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. There are two sessions morning. I think you have attended. Am I right? Yes, I didn't attend. Okay. Sir, yes. Can you tell me, ma'am, what is the topics already covered so that I can speed up my process? Topics
So in
alone.
first session, we started about this virtual reality basics
Okay.
and augmented reality basics.
Okay.
In session 2, we have discussed about this object recognition and tracking.
Okay. Ma'am. Thank you. And yeah, so today we are going to cover about some of the applications point of view in industry as well as the education platforms. So this is what my topic, and so complete applications. So what are the applications? Maybe in future and also present situations, and after the COVID, what are the real application is came, and everything we are going to see about. And before that, I just want to know, no need of answer, just for your thought process. So whether the virtual reality is a theory or technology. Many of time we are actually thought that virtual reality is a technology, augmented reality is a technology, right? But actually, virtual reality is a theory. Then only it comes to the on the implementation only it is a technology. So the Facebook founder, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, is quote about the virtual reality. It is the really a new communication platform by feeling truly present. So by feeling the truly present, that is the immersive thing, and you can share the unbounded spaces and experiences with the people in your life. Imagine sharing not just moments with your friends online, but entire experience and adventures. So Facebook is actually investing millions of dollars through the for the virtual reality and for research. So next Facebook may be completely virtual reality. It's just for a course. And I just whenever I used to give a lecture, I will quote a new Tirukural. This Tirukural is about those shall long proper who abide in the faultless away of him who has destroyed the five desires of the sense. I mean, if we have a five sense, we have to control the five senses. Then no need of control. I mean, if we are controlling the five senses, then every external world, they won't control us. Okay, we will control the external worlds. So like this is the meaning of the Tirukural 2000 years ago. And from that, I just want to make sense that what is called sense. So first understand of sense. So we have a five senses. Probably this thing I think they have covered, but I just want to give some more insight how actually virtual reality is exactly mixed with our reality. So our eye, you might be knowing or not knowing, our eye is actually a 576 megapixel resolution camera. So two eyes are there. So really, it's more than 1,200 megapixel camera. We have a two eyes. So that is our nature. And we, in our nose, we can able to smell over 1 trillion scents. So even for dogs, it's more than that. They can smell over 10 trillion scents. And in our tongue, we can taste about the salty, sweet, sour, spicy, and bitter. Nearly from the, for a grown adult, it may have 2,000 to 4,000 taste buds. So this comes under the reality. And for this question, the lot of MCQs, every time we used to attend this question from our childhood, our hearing capacity is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So it's a lesser than, yeah. Okay. So I think someone has to mute. Excuse me. Someone has to mute, I think. Please. Okay. So our hearing capacity is more than our elephant and less than cat, and very less than of all the animals. And now we come to the virtual reality. So these are the five senses, but including with virtual reality in the, we can take it as it is the theory. If it is by doing a small makeup also virtual reality, and by hearing the speaker, whatever we are speaking, that is reality. But by hearing by the speaker, it's a virtual reality. And our own odor, that is reality. But if we are using scent, that's called virtual reality. And if you are eating mango, that's reality. But if you are using Parle mango bite, that's called virtual reality. And if someone is touching your skin, that's a reality. But if you have an actuator and touch-based devices, and through that we can feel the touch from the remote, whenever they are touching from the remote, we can feel it. That's a virtual reality. So these are the five senses. Already we know that. But if we are implementing the virtual reality, there are some more senses also there, like temperature, maybe the cold, hot, or pressure, anything about it. And balance, how really we are balanced, whether we can stand, when we are standing, how balanced we are, when we are sitting, how balanced we are. So these are the balance. So like that. So if we are in India or US or Antarctica, so based on the gravity, we have to be balanced. And this is called proprioception. Proprioception is based on the angles, okay, in our joint angles, how much we are expanding and how much we are actually moving. So that kind of angles also one of the sensor-based application in virtual reality. And the last one is nociception. Nociception is actually how much torque you are giving to move. See, for example, in a VR atmosphere, for moving for around 2 meter, how much steps you have to move, and for moving for 1 meter, how many steps you have to give it. So this kind of measurements is under the nociception. So now these are the basic sensors from the virtual reality. Even in our basic mobile, normal smartphone also having this kind of sensor: accelerometer and gyroscopic, compass, GPS, light sensor, and barometer. So If we have this kind of sensor only, we can apply any kind of, for example, if we have a GPS sensor, after the GPS sensor emerged only, we know that there are a lot of applications like Uber and Olo came. After the accelerometer emerged only, we can have some kind of virtual application and virtual reality and AR and VR application. And after the light sensor only, the hardware is very much important to compare with the software. So in our smart device or in our mobile phone, the inbuilt hardware should be there. Then only we can use it. So these are the basic sensors. In a maximum in our last 2 to 3 years, we have all in our this kind of mobile. And in particularly in VR and AR atmosphere, there are 3 kind of actions we are actually performing. One is a rolling and pitching and yawing. So these are the maybe X, Y, and Z axis we used to call it. And this is very important in a VR. This is the direction of point. I mean the focus, or just for example, if we are in a stable position, we just turn around here and there, and then we can have only the 3D DOF. Only we can have the direction, these 3 directions. That's called rolling, pitching, and yawing. And if we are moving around in a room, otherwise we are around, I mean, maybe the whatever the virtual space, but we can still move in by chair. Otherwise, we can just run away, or we just walking around in the room. That's called 6 DOF. So there are different devices are there for 3 DOF and also 6 DOF. I mean the direction, 3 direction and 6 direction. Direction of focus. DOF means direction of focus. So our normal human eye is used to view the object, and this can recognize by the the reverse side. Then our brain cells will be recognized, and then we can get the data. But our normal human eye cannot, and really it is impossible to view the object within the 25 centimeter. So after the 25 centimeter, at least after the 15 centimeter, we can view the object. But before 25 centimeter, within the range of the 25 centimeter, we cannot view that. But in our virtual reality applications and virtual reality hardwares, everything we have just like a specs we are wearing. But how it possible? In only within the specs, but it is lesser than the 25 centimeters, about 2 to 3 centimeter, and even it's very lesser than the 5 centimeter range. But still we can view it. So for that, there is a help of the physics. So it will actually magnify the view from the screen, and also the lenses will give the clear view of from the lens adjustment. Okay, it is just like our specs. Our normally in our opticals, they used to give the specs, right? The same kind of mechanical and optical kind of illustration is there. They are using it, so they are just magnifying it, and then they can adjust that viewpoint. Say a small if it is the why I mentioned here that ant means if a small ant, I mean it's appear in the screen, this will be magnified at this much size. So these are the different products are available. I think the morning speakers, they have covered from very basic hardware, and also we have very advanced hardwares like this. Some of the hardwares are friendliness with our mobile. Some of the hardware is completely autonomous. We can use it. So these are the different products are available in market. So you just have a small search in a Google or Amazon. You can getting this kind of approach. So these are the resolution and maximum refresh, because the refresh rate is very much needed. So after the one frame to next frame, it should refresh once, as soon as possible. Then only we can able to see the real-time graphics. Okay, so if you are turning this side and we are if there is a lack of graphics and generating the picture, then it won't be look nice. It won't look like a virtual reality, right? So the thing is, so these are the things, hardwares, they are working for very they have to embroider with display devices. They have to embroider with the memory and utility and distance of the actual person to the hardware. So these are the different manufacturers are there, like Samsung Gear and Sony PlayStation and Oculus Rift and Oculus Go and Ant VR. Yes. So these are the different applications. So whenever we are seeing that visually generated, I mean the artificially generated images, we can feel it. So happiness, we can getting it. Fear, we can getting it. So this is the basic controller. If you this up to this, we just receiving it, but after we have the controller in our hand, we can give the input to the system. Through that, we can interact it. So here also we just interact it, but only by moving our head we can interact it. But here, even our hand and even for sometimes our whole body will be interact with the virtual atmosphere. So this is the basic devices. I mean, this is actually advanced device, but nowadays it is available in the market to interact with the virtual reality atmosphere. And you can, for education purpose, for gaming purpose, or for training purpose, so any kind of purpose based on the application, you can interact with the virtual atmosphere. So this is the basic interface, how actually we are interacting. So it's a basic IR sensor, and that IR sensor is measuring our finger size, and it should be in real time. So how we are pointing it. So this is the virtual hand, but whatever the movement we are doing it, so based on the IR, infrared, it is recognizing, and then it will replicate into the virtual atmosphere. So this is the Oculus Rift. Now it's a very standard one, and there are two modes. One is the wired mode or wireless mode. So this is the atmosphere of the Oculus Rift. See, for example, here there is a connectivity between the hardware. I mean the display devices. Maximum we are connecting with that. We cannot connect with the USB. At least we can connect with that HMDI port. So through that we can connect it. And these are the sensors around our room. So these sensors are connected with our whatever the movement we are doing it. So it will sensing from that remote, and real time it has to act. It is going to the system, and through the system the image will be generating, and that image will be seeing in our eye. So this is the typical VR system. It's very recently it is emerged. Probably it's about 3 to 4 years old. So there are a lot of applications. So just like something like Kinect, Microsoft is for education and also for gaming purpose. They have emerged with technology called Kinect. So there is no need of any kind of communication device, no need of any joystick like that. Even our own hand we can work as we can interact with the own hand. See, for example, if you want to play a cricket, or just in your normal hand itself, it's enough to play the cricket. So these are the different technologies was there around 5 to 6 years or more than 10 years. VR is present, but after lockdown, there are many advantages for the VR, especially in the sports industry and for commercialization and for displaying purpose and for e-commerce and finally for commercialization. So everything. So for example, if we want to purchase a car, even from our home itself, we can see what are the features of the car, and we can rotate it and we can see what is the interior and everything we can see from our home itself. Then if we like it, we can go and purchase it. But earlier it is not there. We just see the 2D kind of animation, and now we can see interior part of the car. So this is the actual advantages after the lockdown came. So there are many applications like, there are, this is one of the company. The company name is NextVR. Yeah, NextVR. It is bought by Apple. Now the Apple is investing this company. See, this company is basically for sports and also for expo. They are conducting expo for the sports applications. So this is our own technology. I mean, as an Indian technology, GeoGlass was introduced before 3 months ago. So this is the only, is very light glass. This is the actually augmented reality glass. Only 75 grams was there. So that's a GeoGlass introduced, but still it is not in market. Expecting this March should be in our market. So around its cost of around 10 to 12K. So these are the actual setup, how actually we are communicating and interacting with the virtual atmosphere. Now I just make some clear. I want to take a small example from the movie. So this is actually one of the Tamil movie. See, the thing is virtual reality, unless until if you are after the implementation only we can come to know what are the next step. So we cannot see everything in theoretically. Okay, so I just want to give a small many case studies I already planned for that. So through that I will explain what are the technology they have used. So this actually is named the hero. So he is actually doing the dual role on that movie, but at the same time, the other person with the same height. So instead of him, he will be present on that. So his face is drawing by the 3D modeling. So completely his face should adopt for the 3D modeling, and whatever he is doing that at the particular scene, whatever he has to do, he has to act in front of the maybe 5 to 6 cameras, and that cameras will capture that motions of the skin. This is actually the motion technology, and after that we can adopt that changes into the third person face, and then we can embed it with that kind of changes by using a rendering. And after that we can do the after the combinations we can see that real feel like both are the same face. So now you can see that is actually the third person, but now we got this face. Okay, so this is the small example for 3D modeling by using a Blender, one of the software called Blender. Actually our yeah, you just see that. Pixel by pixel we have to work for it. So finally we got the image of 3D model of APJ Abdul Kalam. So for pixel by pixel we have to work for it. The same kind of principle was followed when actually the Jurassic Park as well as Avatar movie. So this is a Blender, it's an open source software. They are doing modeling. The same kind of modeling can be done by using MATLAB. Since our actually FDP is by using MATLAB, so I will explain the MATLAB also. So there are some kind of different platforms already available like Python, Blender, and AutoCAD, MATLAB, and Wireframe. You just see only by simple Google search you can getting it. What are the different 3D model frameworks are there? So there is one model that's called the MATLAB, and this is developed by MATLAB. That's called one of the application in that's called Simulink. So Simulink is the platform. Then we can create the 3D model, and through that we can do the virtual labs and simulations and models and 3D kind of any kind of 3D models, especially for physics and biology and chemistry and electrical, mechanical, aeronautics. So every field they are working for research purpose. It's not the application for commercialization. So Simulink is maximum using for the research purpose. And this is the one of the research purpose. So you can see that Apollo lunar model designed by the Simulink platform, which is the version of the MATLAB. So before launching the satellite or before launching the aerospace, aero crafts, so they can simulate it by using the MATLAB as well as the Simulink. So Simulink, it is creating the 3D objects, and we can move it, and based on the mathematical approach, we can make it everything by simulation. And after that, we can plan for that using the 3D model. We can maybe the 3D printer, we can make it a 3D printing. After that, we can make the real model. And after the real model getting also, we can testing by using the virtual model, and then we can make some kind of launch. So this is the very MATLAB is in research purpose and for implementation purpose. There are you can see that job description here. So is one company that's called psatellite.com. So they need a people like experienced in working with MATLAB in high level language with including a C and C++. So that's the role we can play. If you if we know that MATLAB as our core, and if we can create the 3D model by using MATLAB, and we can do many wonders like especially for our curriculum, we can make a virtual labs for that. That is very much needed for making a completely virtual lab for our curriculum. So these are the virtual application I just want to still discuss. This is a Microsoft Kinect. There is a multiplayer options also available. Okay, so these are the different type of games. Whole family can get together and then they can do it. For different kind of features are available. So this, I think you might be familiar. I think because already 2 sections have already finished. So this application is they have completely created a virtual avatar for a girl, which girl is already passed out and passed away from the world, but they have created the girl, and the mother can feel it like the girl is in living. So these are the different applications for education purpose by using augmented reality. We can make some virtual avatar, and we can make some AR application for interactive learning. So let us explore more about the journey and the objectives of Chandrayaan. So this is especially for training purpose, and especially for industry training purpose also. There are a lot of application is available. To make a soldering, whichever occurred some kind of dangerous part, we can use it VR and AR application, and we can get trained. So I will be showing whichever we have developed in our SRM University. That is also I will be showing you, and what are the difficulties we are facing for at the time of the development also I will be giving that. So especially for the medical industry, because medical industry is without help of the technology, now the medical industry is nowhere. So every time and every corner of the medical industry is emerged with the technology. So like this, for anatomy or any kind of studies, we can make it AR and VR applications to explain the features of the machine or features of the even for a keyboard or whatever the in terms of computer science or ECE or EEE. That actually requires less effort, but the result is very good for training as well as the simulation. Okay, so this kind of applications are there, and this is one of the application which is the VR game for vaccination.
Oi! Você voltou!
So during the vaccination,
Nossa, não posso acreditar! Bom, primeiro o pólen de gelo. Bem
they used to give this kind of VR headset, and after that the vaccination is happened without any difficulty.
Vai, escudinho! Vai, escudinho! Funciona, funciona, funciona!
That's all.
Obrigada, obrigada! Caramba!
So this is the real advantage of the VR. So
É a primeira
The children
vez que eu
feel good.
vejo em 15 anos da minha atuação profissional com vacinas que a realidade
okay. So now the COVID-19 vaccination is also going on for many countries. They already started UK and US. So probably in India we can have this kind of vaccination, VR vaccination for children also. We can plan a small kind of animated game we can develop, and then we can plan for it. So I'm just talking about completely what are the different verticals are there in VR and applications. So for military application, before going for actual field, they can train by VR and then they can go on actually in the real field. And for this is very famous, and whenever the VR is emerged in the world, for aircraft modeling and aircraft simulation is the first kind of application. So after that only every application is came. And what are the challenges and the opportunities are there? Challenges, there are many challenges because there are a lot of things we have to learn. So what to learn and what to not learn, that is the main challenges. And today actually we have talked with simulation by using MATLAB. So this is the one more challenging. By using MATLAB, what are the things, what are the actual features are available, what are the actual things we can do it. So that is the main challenge. So if you are focusing on the MATLAB, okay, we can focus on the MATLAB, and what are the actual supporting patterns are there. Through that we can emerge with the MATLAB. So that is also the biggest challenge. And there are many open source softwares also available, and through that also we can make the 3D models. And opportunities are still we are not thinking about the opportunities. Still the MATLAB, I mean the VR is just a fancy application. It's for entertainment purpose. It's for gaming application. No, it is very much useful for elders and patients, and also for for increasing our memory. Whatever the actual memory we have, we can increase our memory by using VR applications. There are a lot of applications yet to arrive. There are many opportunities as well as the research as well as the commercial side, but one by one we can explore. So especially for tourism industry, now I mean especially this COVID time, we cannot go out. Today only officially in Chennai the Marina Beach is opened. So for nearly 9 months there is no beach at all. So everyone is blocked in their room. So there is a big tourism opportunities are there. So through that we can view the actual tourist from our home itself. We can view anywhere in the world, even for a live 3D 360 streaming also available for VR. And yeah, this is the VR for tourism. And this one is, I just want to have a small thought of okay, if we are traveling a small bus, which is maybe in a small city or town or village, why can't we feel like we are traveling in an aircraft? Just we need a VR application, we can fix it. So whenever the bus is turning and we feel like the aircraft, I mean the flight is turning. So like that we can feel it. So we can enjoy the actual the traveling experience. We can get the actual different type of traveling experience. Still we are this kind of small application we can develop. Maybe your students can develop this kind of small application. So the same time, if you have a very long journey, so sometimes we can have this kind of application. And yeah, there are a lot of verticals are there. I'm just using this one of the use case. So I used to write articles in about the VR and in Tamil and also English for magazines. And this is the class. Actually, we in our SRM we have one of the subject called VR. About nearly 8 years we are teaching for different kind of students, different batches from ECE and EEE and CSE and mechanical, especially aeronautical people. And they are nearly 5 to 6 startups is already emerged by using VR from our own students. So why I'm telling is this kind of opportunities available. So not only the coding is after the coding and getting placed in the top MNCs is not needed. You can give some guidelines to the students. They can start learning about the VR and the graphics things. So still I am sure there is a lot of opportunity. They can earn more than whatever the other coders are there. And we have a virtual lab, especially in medical college as well as in our premise. So we used to give this kind of medical application for anatomy and for helping your doctors to get well trained. So these are the applications we have developed for Volcano. It's a AR, completely AR technology. So first of all, we have to make a 3D model of this. Then afterwards, we have to make a what are the animations to be included by frame, and after that, it has to embed with the real atmosphere. So it has to take the reference as the base, and then it has to embed it with. So this is the one more application we can control by using in our mobile. So for a playing, for especially for children, no need of buying expensive goods, expensive playing stuffs. So they can still enjoy the AR, VR directly controlled by real time. We can control it. So through that, as well as they can well trained, they can use a number of time, as well as there is no much cost on this involved. So this is one of the application like a Corona.
Coronavirus. நோய் வருவதும் அதை
in Tamil.
குணப்படுத்துவதோ அல்லது கட்டுக்குள் வைப்பதோ எப்போதும் நிகழ்வதுதான். ஆனால்
So like that,
நோய்க்கான
if you have some kind of
அதை குணப்படுத்துவதற்கான
guidelines, if you want to give the students as any kind of people, we can develop a small 3D model application by using AR and VR, and that will work. That impact is more than what actually the guidelines is shown in the paper or shown in the notice board. So that guidelines will be actually working. It is a more effective way to give the awareness. So this is one more application. So what I felt is because I just want to give an impact on what is called a VR and AR, and I just want to make yourself to think what are the applications can be can you can do with your own, or maybe the help of your students, and they can make a good platform. At least on 10 to 15 users should be there for a small application. So like that, I just want to share one more thing, that's called how the VR and AR can be applicable into our day-to-day college, I mean the higher education purpose. So this one of the dream project we have succeeded in particular percentage. So all the people can wear the VR headset, but this is not actually in our classroom. This is an image from somewhere we are getting copied, and actually we have developed a small app that's called VR Quiz. So it's still, we didn't upload in our Play Store. So this is the kind of application, you can see that. So I just want to move away. So you can see that the small application, probably if it is visible, I am okay with that. This application actually for a question is a MCQ type of question. For a question, there is a four values will be, four answers will be displaying. If we want, if we have to fix it in our virtual reality glass, and after that we can just move around in the atmosphere. We can select that options. So like that, we can answer for our quiz. We can attend the exam. So this kind of application students cannot copy, and also they will concentrate. They will more concentrate on this kind of application. If we are conducting the exam in VR mode, they will be more concentrate on their. They won't disturb for any kind of external atmosphere, and it is a good reliability, because if we remove that headset, and they will be terminated from out of the exam. So for at least for training and our class assessment kind of thing, we can have this kind of small project that's require minimum coding, a good programmer, a good programming knowledge in C++ or C#. He or she can develop. Maximum 2 days is enough. For the same Google, the same Google form we can embed it, and then we can make it. Okay, so these are the things. I just want to make a small motivation for VR and AR kind of projects. Still, there is a lot of way we have to do for that, and now actually I have covered very little, and we can discuss more. So whatever you have any questions, please we can discuss. So I just want to make a complete session for a question and answer. So and sir, actually we have to finish before, I mean up to 3:30 session is there. Right? So organizers. Sir, am I audible, sir? In this FTP, if you have any queries or any doubts, maybe if you have some ideas, we can implement it. Maybe some kind of difficulty you are facing, or you already started some projects, and because we have nearly 14 days of time. These 14 days, at least we can make it maybe 1 or 2 apps, which is exactly meets our requirement. an education as well as a research purpose. Any of you can Ma'am, Shalini ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes, any of them, they want to make a discussion, they can do it, ma'am. Otherwise, we can go and conclude it, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask them. Sir,
Yes.
can you please
Yes.
explain-
I can see that. Okay. Swarab flu, right? Yeah, Swarab flu. I can got your question like whether we can use it for EEG technology with VR. Yes, actually, I about to cover that. I am very much interested of this question, especially. Yes, we can do it, but there is a lot of filters should be needed. What maybe the thought process. Otherwise, for example, if you want to control the wheelchair, if you want to control the kind of external applications, we can make our EEG headset as much as perfect without any error. So then we can correlate with that angle with respect to X and Y and Z angle. After that, we can give the inputs to the VR and AR devices. Then we can control the devices through EEG technology. I think I have answered your question, Mr. Swarab Flu.
Thank you very much for all your clarifications, sir. Thank you all for being with us today. Hope the session would have been very useful to all the participants. Let us meet tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. See you. Thanks for the opportunity from IFPT and Savanan sir and everyone. I thank you very much. Yes. Forty minutes முடிச்சிடும் 1.5 மணி நேரம் சொன்னாங்க மைண்ட்ல வேற ஒர்க்லாம் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு